Welcome to the Visitation. It's good to have you here. This is where we share honest and vulnerable moments of marriage and family life. It's good to be here. I'm Mary Beth Eberhard, and I'm here with my very good friend Lisa Iglesias.
Hey there.
And today we are going to talk about having fun in marriage and family life. So I am thinking that there have been many times in my marriage when fun has been exciting and planned, and it's especially my early years. It was a lot of fun to be married. And as we've gone through having kids and working and school and all the activities, the doing and taking care of everybody often puts the fun to the wayside. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And yet, when the opportunity comes for fun, it's like, whoa, it's like one of those authentic marriage moments where you're just like, gosh, we haven't done that in forever. And it can be as simple as like taking a walk, but for me, that I need something that's like out of the ordinary.
Correct. Yeah.
So I know I have a deck of cards. This is new. You don't know this about me.
No, I don't.
I have a deck of cards in my nightstand drawer. And not that like I'm a casino person, because I've never been to a casino.
Yeah,
and
clearly you are.
Right. But I join in the family poker games. You should see me. No, I like to play little kid card games. So like Crazy Eights, I'm like a shark. And I find that if I take that deck of cards out on our bed, and instead of like, hey, let's just watch a show together, or let's just do this, I'm like, come on. Yeah, I'm going to take you. and seriously, we're playing Crazy Eights. And if he wins, I'm like, we're going again. Yeah. Because like I'm competitive, and he knows that about me. And actually, he kind of smiles because he's like, and maybe he lets me win. We'll see. But it's just kind of fun, and it's lighthearted, right? So that's an easy thing. Yeah. But the necessity to have fun in marriage is often just overlooked in a very big way.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think sometimes for me, I've kind of looked at actually a huge victory for me is I have been praying for years to like curb my social media intake. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think there is like Bishop Barron like has figured it out. You know, he's there, he's on social and everything, but I'm sure he is not taking it in as much as I was. But praise the Lord. I've taken those apps off my phone, and I just find, oh my goodness, I have so much day now. Mm-hmm. I have so much time for things that I thought I had no time for myself, even the kids and everything. But so social media has shown me in many, many ways. It was every single day when I would look at it, all of the amazing ways people were spending time with their loved ones. The beauty, the beautiful pictures, the incredible adventures, and all these things that I was not doing, couldn't afford to do, they were maybe dreams, stuff of maybe retirement, but then, well, I want to do those things, you know. And so we've heard it over and over again, but honestly, quit looking at the social media, because that is not where that beautiful game of Crazy Eights is, right?
Right.
And that's the real. So the social media stuff, we always have to remember, it's these curated, perfect picture moments where there's special light boxes set up, everybody, just so you know. There's all those things, and there's filters and things, and not just what we're going to talk about, you know, mention it. It's actually true. Mm-hmm. And we're the husbands pulled in for there's terms.
And we live in the authentic.
Correct. And there's terms like, you know, like your Instagram husband moment or whatever, and then having them do this for you and the other. Anyway, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole at the moment, but my point is, if we take in these sometimes fictional depictions of what this happy, fun-filled marriage is, we're going to always feel like we're falling short. And so that's what was happening to me as I was looking at that going, well, we can't do that. We can't afford that. And my simple little, coffee together in the morning, or if we're going to hold hands and just the two of us go get an ice cream cone, that is fun too. You know, like that, mm-hmm. that is a little bit of fun too.
No, I think that recognition is really important. One thing I I read, I read it this morning, I think, and I'm kind of pulling it up here. As you say, don't go on my social media.
Oh, no. I'm telling you, it's
right,
not,
right.
I think it's a tool.
Right, it is a
that
tool.
we can use for Jesus.
So I loved this. It was a husband saying that, men are so worried that marriage will leave them with only one woman for the rest of their lives, and it's simply not true. He says, I fell in love with a 19-year-old rock climber, married a 20-year-old animal lover, started a family with a 24-year-old mother, then built a family with a 25-year-old homemaker, and today I'm married to a 27-year-old woman of wisdom. If your mind is healthy, you'll never get tired of one woman. You'll actually be overwhelmed with how many beautiful versions of her you get to marry over the years.
Oh, that is so beautiful.
Right. It's so, so beautiful, right? But I shared that with Ryan, my husband, and he was saying, and again, he has a language to him that is just, but he said, did you notice the infinite depth of that spouse? And I thought, no, I just thought, gosh, that's so sweet. But then I pondered it, right? He said, the reality is, if you live in that recognition, you'll never get exhausted trying to know that other person. And the fun that comes that in recognizing the newness of that person. And granted, there are marriages that are in a place where recognizing the newness is not, it's just not where you are. It's you can't access that yet. But I think it's important to keep in point that having fun and recognizing that there are growing moments within your marriage and within that person is coming. You have to work toward it, right? Yeah. But the newness of, I think that's one way of keeping marriage fun, is recognizing that, when I was first married, I was a soccer playing college student, right? And I ice skated, and Ryan was a goofy engineer who laughed and waved his hand and said howdy. And I was from New York and he was from Ohio, and I love that about him. I loved the goofiness of that he said howdy. It was just so funny to me. And when he says it now, he'll say that in the grocery store line. He'll still say howdy, ma'am, to the cashier, and it makes me giggle. But that recognition of the growth, I think there's something to that about keeping fun in marriage, right? It's absolutely not all about the activity. And sometimes it can be, we can get caught up in that, like you said, like the Instagram, social media, where they've what are we doing?
Right.
And there are things you can do.
Absolutely.
But it's easy to listen to this and think I can't afford to do fun, right? Things are tight right now. Right. And yet fun can be, a deck of cards. It can also be making a meal together, getting that bottle of wine or, something like that, and just having fun, dab a little sauce on someone's face, right? And laugh at it. Yeah. And just share that moment.
Yeah. I love that, because I'm thinking of a particular time where we had Doug's whole family over, and forgive me, but we're not huge football fans. We do like to watch the occasional big game, but just not huge ones. But we had the whole family over for a big Super Bowl game, and really just to have them over to come have some sandwiches. Now, it sounds really ridiculous, but these were going to be fancy sandwiches, with avocados in them and bacon. And we were just working together. And I remember that was years ago. And like you just said, you just making a meal together. So much fun. But what about, let's talk about this. What about, because for me, there was several years, I'm not sure if I was mid-40s, I think. And I just became the no wife and the no mom. Oh, hey, look, it's snowing. How about we go out? We just go for a walk in the path in the snow. Let me get you all your pants. Let me get you all your boots. Yeah, go. And they would all leave. And I'd be like, oh, good. They're gone. They're all outside. They're happy. Okay, good. I'll just be here. And in a few, I'm telling you, a few minutes, I was I wonder where they are. If they're not far, maybe I should go out to them. And I had this weird where it must have been, I was in some place of sadness, I guess, where I'm not even sure. I really can't put my finger on it. But I was just saying no to everything, and Doug would ask you, oh, how about we go out? How about we get together with some friends? Yeah, no. Like, look at this house. Like, I'd have to work for 2 days to get everything just right for people to come in, or no, let's just stay home. And I'm glad now, looking back, I can see, oh yeah, I think I was like grieving a loss of my fitness. I had tried to start working out, and I was like, wow, I used to be a marathoner, and look at me now. I can barely make it like a mile, and I'm like, someone pick me up, please, And I know that was part of that time. Another part of it was like kind of looking at the little world I had kind of like created for us as homeschooling. I had kind of pared down in a good way our activities and things, but I'd realized I'd pared it way down. Like I was just home, not really interacting much with, good, strong girlfriends and, faithful opportunities, thinking that was really smart. Anyway, so I think those were the things I had done. Not sure why, but being that no mom and no wife really kind of was bad because it did push away my husband. It pushed him. And so the fun part, it was no fun anymore. And he would say, I'm praying for you for your joy. And man, that would annoy me so bad. Like, praying for my joy? Are you saying I have no joy? What are you talking about? Like, the fruit of the Spirit that I received when I had prayer as a high schooler was joy. I couldn't stop laughing. It was like wonderful. I was like, and how could he even say that? Pray for my joy. Why are you going to pray for my joy? Like, right. And he was so 1,000% correct. Like, wow.
So what changed? I'm curious. Where
I
did
like
you get
your
story.
Okay, grace of God, I'll guess. I don't know, but like that beautiful reflection of that husband. Okay, the 20, year old woman,
how
and
marriage
then the
changes.
29-year-old woman. In a funny way, Doug has said that when I turned 40, I found my 40-year-old voice, and that's the voice that, like, when you should really say no to an opportunity, you actually say, "Oh, no, thanks." I'll pray for your endeavor and support you in other ways that I can. When before in your 20s, you would say, "Oh, yes," and you would take on the 40th responsibility that you can't handle. And then I found my 50-year-old voice, and that kind of goes along with that. Like I have changed, I have grown, I have realized, certain things are vitally, crucially important to me, and I will protect them at all costs for the Lord, like for room for Him and things like that. But trying to worry more about what the Lord thinks about me than maybe other people think about me, and what more about what Doug thinks about me than just being mom, which is great, but like to the falling apart of mom, like just putting, a kid-centric family is not the healthiest one. And anyway, so
I'm going to speak some truth into this because I have the gift of being your friend, and I'm excited to be able to just pour into this moment here. You are an authentic witness of joy, and you bring a lightness to your family. I have seen you all welcome in the stranger. I have seen you welcome in family. You treat strangers as family, and the joy that comes from that within you, it's palpable. You can feel it. And not only that, but the free, freeness, the freedom that you feel in the Iglesias family, in your home it's beautiful. There's active play, there's laughter, everyone's using their gifts. And that is something that you are cultivating in your home. So I need you to know that.
Well, thank you. You're very sweet. You're listening to The Visitation. Mary Beth Eberhard and myself, Lisa Iglesias. We're just just leaning into the Lord as we continue talking about this fun in marriage and the place that it does have and how it is going to just help us to grow and come even closer to the Lord.
I think, Lisa, that the joy that is necessary in a marriage comes from active seeking of welcoming in Jesus. You know, Jesus had a lot of fun. You know, he was a child at a time, and so he played, and Mama Mary played with him, right? And St. Joe, he prayed and played, and I love that example, and I try to bring that into my family. You know, we have fun in marriage, but we also have fun in family life, and so the everyday, from a family board game to, and we don't play board games every day, just
Nope.
so you know.
Yep.
But it's the goal to at least once a week gather, and you know what do we do? It's phones away. You know, everybody's phones, everybody's devices away, and there's grumbling. I mean, there's like an active, like, there's a little hostility sometimes.
And I've never been the one who still had the phone on my lap.
Right.
No, that's never happened to you.
Never.
Right.
But
awful.
but when that avenue is closed off, those doors are closed, and it's just us, it's so much fun. We have a great time.
Yeah.
And for me, it reminds me of when I need to go to adoration, right? Man, I can think of so many reasons, Lisa, not to go to adoration. I'm busy. I will serve the Lord more here in my home, and he sees that. He really does. But when I get to the chapel, I settle in, and I'm like, oh, Jesus, I don't want to leave you.
Yeah.
Like this, you know, it's like Peter and John up, you know, with Jesus and on the mountain, and they're like, it's good we're here. Mm-hmm. And I say that to him. And I think fun in marriage, fun in family life needs to have those moments. You need to be like, man, it's good we are here. And what do we do to cultivate that? Yes, game nights. Yes, activities. Yes, you know, maybe go sledding, you know, do those things. But the recognition that it's good that you are here together, whether it be just you and your spouse or you as a family.
Yeah. I think, and it can even be like you were just saying, not necessarily, you know, the planned, saved up for wonderful trip or whatever, but even in our household, it's full of music, and so even it's what are some of the songs that you like right now? And you know, it's funny because the old stuff is coming out. They like the old stuff. They're like, Mom, is this box your record player? Okay, this just happened. And I'm like, well, I think it might be. And they pulled out this record player that I got in 8th grade. I think I got it when I was in 8th grade. And I still have it.
70s.
Okay, it's newer than that, but but and they're like, that means there's vinyls in this house. I can't believe they said vinyls. I was like, you mean records? And I was like, yeah, vinyls. And so actually I've been trying to jumble through the basement trying to find the box of vinyls. But that brought so much joy. There was like the scavenger hunt in our house. The kids are looking for it. We found one record. It was a Star Wars, some sort of weird reboot. It was very scary to listen to, but so exciting. And it was, like you said, it brought all this lightness into the house. We were no longer talking about, well, so this big decision you have to make, you know, college is coming up. How does this make you feel? What kind of a place you need to be in? You know, as a student, you really need to be focusing. Like all of that is the work, right, with our kids and our schooling and stuff. But this was just like lightness, and it was really just kind of like letting them be themselves. And, you know, when then Doug jumps up and he's like, all right, come on, let's, you know, do the swing or whatever dance. And I'm like, no.
Well, and I was going to wonder about that because like I'm not, and this is hard for me. I'm not a fun person as much as my husband is. And we've had to have, I mean, I make fun. I like to create it, right? I like to prepare it. It's that hospitality of even in the moment, creating the environment and all of those things. And I will join in, but I have to prepare it. It's hard for me to just enter in. But Ryan is, he's the fun maker. And instead of in my marriage being resentful of that, embracing that and walking alongside, I mean, God put us together for a reason. And so, if we have music playing in our house and, we have the Alexa or whatever that is in the kitchen. And so there's a lot of like, Alexa, play this, Alexa, play that. And the Ryan will, come out and he'll start dancing, right? And they'll have like a mini little dance party. And then that will kind of, a kid will come in and eat with each entrance of an individual into this, big family of mine. It grows bigger, and the joy is just like, but it's just a moment.
Yep.
And so lessons learned for me are that like, look, I didn't create that. That's authentic joy that came from a family that is united. Mm-hmm. Why are we united? What is our foundation? Our foundation is Christ. Our foundation is family. Our foundation is the faith, right? And the intimacy that is created within the family environment. So those are lessons that I have to learn as far as letting fun be just spontaneous mm-hmm. and open in that way. One of my sons was getting ready to go out on a date, and he came up and he said, he was heading out, and his sister said, wait, are you wearing that? and then he said, well, yeah, I mean, we're just going for a run. And she said, oh, you're going to run in that? What kind of run? What kind of hike? And then this turned into every single family member being like, what about, and it was so much fun. And we were smiling because it was joyful, and everybody was active and laughing. Mm-hmm. And I remember how it ended too. Like he came up and he's like, I'm going to wear this. And we were all like, oh, that's good. And then our little one, she was like, didn't you wear that on your last date? And and we were like, oh, and it was like the end of an episode, right? But we were all laughing.
Yeah.
And it worked out just fine, but it was just, how to bring joy into your family, how to have fun in your family mm-hmm. is to find it in those moments, to stop and recognize it. Because most of the time, I would wager that there are moments of everyday joy, everyday fun right there.
Mm-hmm. And I think that those little moments are, surprisingly, those are the things that they remember. And they, like we will be with family over the holiday, and they will bring up, oh, remember, like say in your house, remember the dance party about whatever. And the kids bring up, different moments with similar kind of things. But for the harder times, for the challenging moments, those little times of laughing together, they become the bedrock, right? For those hard times where you have to be like, I got to call this kid on the carpet about this. If we don't have any of these positive, fun, light, I accept you and laugh with you just as you are moments, even me, like they are laughing with old me, like this is fun. Like all of it is foundation. All of it is, laying another layer in their heart. And just like our easy times in life, and we're like, oh yeah, thanks God for that. Thanks. But then when it comes hard, we're like, Lord, I've come before you. Help us in my need. Those other parts where we look back and go, he was so faithful. He was so good. He from this little thing that we worried about to this big thing. We just increase that relationship either with our kids. I think it's so easy to think kids, right? But again, like with our spouse, we that random laughter, that random, mm-hmm. It's just part of that foundation.
It is. And I think that you can, we've certainly had our big moments, our fun moments, but, and, our big epic trips or whatnot that have made our marriage, we have those memories. But like you said, it is the everyday moments that are really quite foundational. So, I'm just grateful. I think the takeaway here is that we really just recognize that Jesus is present in the everyday, to recognize the joy that he brings into our marriages, the joy he brings into our family life, and open, like you said, be a yes person, and be a yes mom, be a yes wife.
Give it a try. I mean, then that joy is worthy. It's not just the struggle isn't all that's worthy. It's then coming out the other side, but the joy is worthy as well.
Very. Amen.
Okay, so let's just take a moment, thank the Lord. How blessed we are to share this time together. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for Mary Beth, for her life, for her sharing and bringing us more clarity, helping bringing peace to my heart, and also for all our friends. Thank you for sharing this time with us here on The Visitation.